association amending its governing documents can be a long process, and it's got a lot of potential for the association to have problems in that process. And when we first meet with the community, one of the things that we will do is review the governing documents and see what issues that we might identify in there. And the governing documents, we talk about that, generally are the Articles of Incorporation, the association's declaration, and its bylaws. And the entire operation of the community and the board of directors as a corporation can be found in those documents. And the association is obligated to follow those documents. If there are policies and procedures that you're doing that don't follow those documents, we would strongly recommend that either you change the procedure or policy or you amend the documents to comply with how you're actually running things. A number of the associations that we've worked with over the years were an older community that were founded and established before the Minnesota Common Interest Ownership Act was established. And any community that was a planned community, so not a condominium or cooperative, that was formed before June 1st, 1994, their documents, in order to be subject to the statute, they would need to amend their documents to opt in to the statute. Opting into the Minnesota Common Interest Ownership Act is merely is amending that, and going through that process is just the process of amending the documents. What we will do with the board of directors is sit down with them in the beginning to identify some of the key issues, and we have a checklist for this. And then reviewing their existing documents to see what their policies are in place, and and talk with them about which ones are working, which ones aren't working. And then in going through that procedure, we are laying the groundwork for giving this package of information to the attorney to actually do the drafting. The more that we establish in this groundwork, the less time the attorney needs to spend on drafting the documents. When we go through a governing document rewrite process, for us, we generally do that at no additional cost for our clients, because we see this as such a fundamental thing for the operation of the community that we need strong, good documents in place in order for us to be able to do our job. And our job is going to be easier, and we can do a better job if we have good documents in place. So we're willing to do that for no charge. But that process that we take the board through in amending the documents, by saving all that time with the attorney, we can usually cut their attorney bill by as much as half. So what might cost $2,500 to $5,000 for a typical standard amendment process, if you're doing a full rewrite to opt into Kiowa, we can do that, get it done for, actually I screwed that up. So typical amendment for a governing document, so a typical amendment for a governing document rewrite process is going to be about $3,500 to $6,000 for attorney fees, and we can reduce that to $2,500 to maybe $4,500, and which will save the association a lot of money, and we're at no additional cost to them from us. When we are talking with boards about amending the documents, we want to be involved in that process from beginning to end. We worked with a community that had done a rewrite of their documents, and it was done by a committee, and they didn't really, of homeowners, they didn't really have a good understanding of the operations of a homeowner association. And there were a number of changes they made to the documents that were operationally, over time, were proving to be very problematic. When they hired us, that was one of the first things we pointed out to them, that there was a problem here. After about 10 years of continuing to wrestle through this, they finally agreed, yeah, we need to amend our documents. And we helped them with that process. Had we been involved in the beginning, we would have helped them to avoid all of those pitfalls that they fell into. And unfortunately, it cost them about $3,000 to go through that rewrite process. But it was successful, and now they have very, very good documents.